Aside from perhaps Bad Bunny, Logan Paul will undoubtedly go down as the greatest celebrity crossover wrestler in WWE history. So much so that many people are calling for Logan Paul to actually win a major championship in the WWE. A feat that would have been thought of as laughable and downright stupid had it been said about Logan Paul when he first debuted in the WWE. But now, not only does it no longer seem like an impossibility, but I think it's downright likely that we're going to be seeing Logan Paul prancing around social media with a Prime bottle in one hand and the US belt in the other. Because folks, it's time. Ring the bell, sound the alarms, because Logan Paul has made it clear that he is going after the United States title. A title that is currently being held hostage by that deadbeat of a father, Rey Mysterio. So let's talk about this thing. But hey, as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring that bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm confident that you're gonna fall in love with this wrestling channel because we upload daily wrestling content. I'm currently on my way to Las Vegas and we're still pumping out daily videos. We don't miss days here. Shucky ducky quack quack. That's Booker T-ism for please subscribe. So before we fully dive into this whole Logan Paul saga, let's quickly catch you up to speed on the current Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio saga involving the United States Championship. After 4 months of a build that got ruthlessly personal on Twitter, on podcasts, and all over the internet, Logan Paul defeated Dylan Dennis in an influencer boxing bout. Well, to be fair, Dylan Dennis is an actual trained MMA professional, while Logan Paul is the actual influencer in this bout. And yet, even though Logan Paul was the influencer and Dylan Dennis was the actual fighter, Logan Paul completely clowned Dylan Dennis. To the point where Dylan Dennis tried several times to put Logan Paul in headlocks, guillotines, and even tried to perform a few jiu-jitsu takedowns. And again, to clarify, he did all of this during a boxing bout. This was not MMA. Honestly, the whole thing was just a circus act that, in my opinion, dragged the sport of boxing that was already struggling back 100 years. But hey, I'm not here about to talk about the legitimacy of influencer boxing. That's an entire video all on its own, because out of that entire clown show, what stole the show wasn't the result. It wasn't who was fighting next. What stole the show was the post-match interview between Logan Paul and Ariel Helwani. You see, it's common practice after an influencer boxing bout to call out a future opponent that you want to face in the ring. So with that being said, many people were expecting Logan Paul to call out another influencer for a boxing bout. Maybe his brother, Jake Paul. Maybe he would go to the very tippy top and go after another MMA fighter and go after Conor McGregor or something. But instead of calling out a potential future boxing opponent, Logan Paul instead brilliantly used that platform to call out none other than the legendary WWE superstar and current United States champion, Rey Mysterio. Which, by the way, super awesome move of Logan Paul to put over the business of professional wrestling when there are so many eyes on him at that moment in time. I think it's super cool that he used that major platform that he had to put over the business of professional wrestling. I thought it was great. But what about Rey Mysterio? What does he think of all of this? Because according to his Twitter, it seems like Rey Mysterio is down for this match. A match that will logically take place at this year's upcoming WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. And interestingly enough, not that this necessarily matters, but it's just neat to point out, this would mark the 1-year anniversary of that awesome Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns match for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship that happened at last year's Crown Jewel. So Logan Paul has a history of having major title matches at these events, so there's precedent for this. But hey, that's it. You're all caught up on the Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio saga as of the making of this video. Which now just leaves the question, should Logan Paul win the WWE United States Championship from Rey Mysterio and be one of the very few crossover celebrities to ever hold a major title in professional wrestling? My answer is hell yes, absolutely, 100% without a single shadow of a doubt, I want this. Let's face it, the United States Championship is doing absolutely nothing for Rey Mysterio. He's already done it all. He's a multi-time world champion. He's won a Royal Rumble, co-main evented a WrestleMania, inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. There's nothing else for him to do. And this US title is nothing more than just a prop on Rey Mysterio at the moment. And I understand the concept and the idea behind putting a major title like the United States Championship on a veteran like Rey Mysterio. It's usually clearly done to raise the prestige of the title to help make a star out of whoever ends up beating that veteran. However, in my opinion, and feel free to disagree, I just don't think that Rey Mysterio has done much in terms of elevating that championship. In fact, Rey Mysterio feels like a very run-of-the-mill transitionary champion right now. So much so that when it comes to the conversation of the United States Championship, the conversation isn't so much about, who's gonna beat him. It's more about when are we gonna get a new champion? When are we gonna get something different? So in essence, what I'm trying to say is that the United States Championship isn't doing much for Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio isn't doing much for the United States Championship. So let's get that belt off of him. And frankly, there aren't that many legitimate contenders to take that championship from Rey Mysterio right now, because when I look at the current roster of contenders at play for the United States Championship, I'm pretty underwhelmed at the moment by them. I mean, we can look at Santos Escobar, who's been in this title picture for a very long time, but he still cannot connect with anybody in the audience right now. We've already seen Austin Theory hold it, and we've already seen Bobby Lashley hold it as well. Everyone that is currently in the US title picture would just feel like another transitional champion, except for Logan Paul. Logan Paul winning this United States Championship would actually breathe new, fresh air onto a championship belt that has felt stale over the last several years. A championship belt that has very quickly fallen in terms of importance to the Intercontinental Championship. And although I don't think that Logan Paul can elevate the United States Championship in terms of legitimacy the way that Gunther has, say, the Intercontinental Championship, I believe that he can elevate the US title in a different way by garnering interest on the title and the title defenses that Logan Paul has with people outside of the traditional viewership of professional wrestling. Logan Paul's videos, podcasts, social media posts, podcast appearances, media appearances all get hundreds of millions of views every single month. And I'm envisioning a world where Logan Paul is taking the United States Championship to every single one of these events so that the entire world can see him wearing the WWE United States Championship. Frankly, I see this as an overall net positive for the WWE, for Logan Paul, and for whoever Logan Paul is feuding with at the moment. Because I'm going to be honest with you, at the end of the day, it's not amazing 7-star matches that pay the bills, it's eyeballs, it's people talking about you, and that's exactly what Logan Paul as champion would be able to deliver. And here's the thing, I know I'm totally downplaying Logan Paul at the moment because I'm making it sound like he's only good for the United States Championship because of the internet clout that he brings with him. But the fact of the matter is that he's also proven to all of us time and time again that he's a tremendous in-ring talent as well. His match versus Roman, versus Seth, versus Ricochet, versus The Miz, his performances at the Royal Rumble, at the Money in the Bank, all of these aren't just crazy, buzzworthy, viral moments that spark a lot of interest from internet folks such as myself and you, but they're also great matches in their own regard. So in essence, in Logan Paul, we have a proven draw that can generate interest and buzz like no one else. It doesn't matter what he's in, he is going to generate eyeballs, but he's also delivered some fantastic matches. And on top of that, he's only 27 years old. I'm sold. Additionally, since Logan Paul's career is still in its infancy, it means that there are literally dozens of matches and feuds that would be brand new that we've never seen before on WWE television. Unlike Rey Mysterio, who has had matches and feuds with just about everyone on the planet at this point. And I know that there are still some detractors that just don't like Logan Paul for the things that he's done outside of wrestling, and that's fair. Things like the Japanese forest, his scams, all the other stuff that he's done outside of wrestling, I believe are all valid reasons to not like the dude. However, let's just be honest, clearly the WWE doesn't care about those things. So you're gonna get Logan Paul regardless of whether you want him or not. So in my opinion, use that hatred towards the guy to root your ass off for the opponent. Speaking on his opponent, I'm calling it now. I think that we're going to be getting Logan Paul versus LA Knight at WrestleMania for the WWE United States Championship. I called this a long time ago, and to me, this is phase 1 before we have this Mania mega match. Yeah. And I know some of you don't want this. You want LA Knight to win the big one against Roman Reigns, but I just don't think that it's gonna happen. And frankly, this would be the biggest US title match in company history. I think that this would be bigger than Seth Rollins versus John Cena. I just don't think that the company is gonna pull the trigger on LA Knight. I still think that they have blinders on and are going forward with Cody versus Roman. So a great consolation prize for LA Knight would be a massive, buzzworthy, mainstream media match against Logan Paul for the US Championship. And my hope is that by then, the US title will be a consolation prize that's actually worth winning because Logan Paul has elevated it to a different status. I know that there's going to be a bunch of you that disagree with this, but this is your opportunity to tell me, do you want to see Logan Paul as United States champion? Sound off in the comments, but I'm done. Get out of here.